Your 4x4 is presented by Carryboy 4x4 Canopies and Accessories, Trek Hardware 4x4 Superstore, the Iveco Daily 4x4, Nava Australia, Cooper Tyres, Piranha Off-Road Products and ARB 4x4 Accessories.
This morning I woke up at another absolute cracking campsite down beside the river. Danny's outdone himself again. Everything he seems to find is just absolutely beautiful, one better than the next.
Thought I'd sneak in a cheeky little fish this morning. I got the rod and threw a spinner on there. Unfortunately, no luck there. I can only point the finger to the lure because clearly I'm a bit of a gift to the fishing world. Far from it.
With no fish for brekkie, it was time instead for the morning ritual of a decent caffeine fix. For this trip, the team at Alternative Brewing suggested trying the ultra-portable and ever-reliable AeroPress. This wonderfully simple machine takes up very little space, is super lightweight and does a variety of coffee styles. Needing no power or batteries, this is as simple as it gets. We partnered it with some fresh cartel roasters filter roast beans to get everyone moving and ready to get the day underway.
This is sensational, but the thing I hate most about camping is the packing up.
Yeah, it's all done now though, thank goodness. It's so bloody hot this morning. Beautiful day, but it's getting warm.
You've lined up a water crossing first up?
I have, it's a beautiful crossing. I'm not sure how deep it's going to be at the moment, but it's a very long crossing and it's a nice way to relax.
All right, awesome trip, Danny. Thanks for organising it. Let's get out there.
Let's go.
Well, Simon, this is it. This is the river crossing that I've been talking about. Come and have a look. I've been waiting for this.
Gotta be kidding.
Jackson's Crossing, have a look how wide it is.
That is huge, Danny.
And you know what? I think the exit is down there.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's an awesome crossing.
Happy Simon and Danny.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, Simon, I've got a problem here, man. I've got every load on the dashboard, battery load, everything. I think there's something wrong.
Alan, did you hear that? Can you come down and give us a hand, please? I think we've got an electrical issue.
Yeah, come me down there, mate. I'll be there shortly.
All right, Mike, we're coming up to help.
This was meant to be an easy day, Simon.
Check the battery terminals first. So the alternator is what charges the battery system while the vehicle is driving. Any mud or anything that gets thrown up under it is going to render it useless.
First of all, we have
10.4.
0.4, which means the battery is effectively flat.
10.4 is not good, Al. So main battery is low, second battery is good.
Yes. So I think cleaning it out's the only option we've got. A couple of bottles of water squirted with some sort of pressure. Okay, start her up. They fixed it! 13.9 volts! How good is that?
That's incredible.
I'm happy. All my lights are off. She's tickety-boo. Here we go. The Snowy River. She's a little bit bumpy, but this is amazing.
You obviously don't want to make too much splash up in the engine bay, but the loose river stone underneath, it was moving around a little bit, so you had to keep your wits about you and concentrate on what you're doing. So we all made it across quite easily, and sit back and relax here now and have a bit of a feed.
One of the hottest days we've had out here at the Victoria High Country, but we get to spend it here. Mate, how breathtaking is this?
The river just widens right out and it actually breaks up into two crossings and there's an island in the middle. It is just absolutely magic. You would find words hard to describe it.
Lunchtime on the snowy river, just amazing. Stopped up, had some sandwiches, had some leftover spit meat from the night before that we put together.
We've pulled up to have a bit of lunch. Everyone's had a bit of a swim, cool down, beautiful snowy river.
We jumped and went in for a swim for half an hour thinking you can't top this. We're all going to jump back into the full drives and make one final little crossing and we'll hit the tracks again.
And sounds like we're off. Crossing the Snowy River for the second time. It's a two-part crossing. We're just at the rapids here. So we're actually crossing mid-stream on the rapids. Geez, yep, she's flowing. You want to make sure you pick the right gear if you're in a manual. Stopping halfway across here would be less than ideal. But easy enough, just rolling through, constant throttle control. And we've come into beautiful green pastures.
After we'd had lunch and had a nice swim in the snowy river there, we came out and continue on our way.
So we've had 5 nights of fantastic bush camping and it has been absolutely splendid. The weather's been terrific.
Not as big a day today. We're aiming for Buchan and for the first time in 5 nights we're actually going to be motelling it, which will be a bit of a change. It'll allow for a shower. Some of us needing it more than others. That might be me.
Couple of difficult tracks to get out of there and then headed out into Buchan. So really looking forward to had the night off tonight. Didn't have to cook dinner.
Went through some private land which we'd had access to and crawled our way up through some pretty challenging and rocky tracks, which was a little bit of fun. It brought us out onto the summit and then we slowly made our way down in towards Buchan.
Leaving the Snowy River National Park, a number of easy-going forest trails drew us towards Buchan, the small country town in East Gippsland. The journey led us over the Marindal River and back onto one of the very rare blacktop sections we would experience during this adventure.
Now Buchan's a lovely little town, there's not much to it, but what is there is absolutely lovely. There's been a motel which we had the luxury of staying in, with a view right over the Buchan Valley.
So it was really nice, I guess, to finally pull into the Buchan Motel and find ourselves with warm running water, bed to sleep in, and a shower, I guess, to wash off those 5 days of dust and dirt. So that was a fantastic way to end that day, and we made our way down to the Buchan Hotel for a meal.
We'll be able to get ourselves to a pub and have a big feed and talk some big long yarns of today.
To wake up in the morning with that sunrise coming through the window was fantastic. I'd had a really, really good night's sleep. I do love camping, but waking up with a shower, a toilet, a bed, and not having to pack up any tents or swags, that's the win.
This morning, waking up in Buchan to another beautiful day. We headed down to the Roadhouse for an egg and bacon roll and a coffee.
There's not much in Buchan, as I said before, but what is there is terrific. Every single person was friendly, and we've had breakfast at the local servo.
Well, I'm looking forward to a big day on the tracks, Danny. Now, it's been a week that you've been driving this beast around. Should really be my turn, but last night you brought in Big Mike from Iveco.
Yep, Mike's turn. Welcome aboard. There's
Thank
the
you.
keys.
Fantastic.
I suppose I'm stuck with shotgun again.
Yep.
All right, come on.
Let's go. So Seagers was my first time on the daily. I was lucky enough to have Simon next to me in the car and gave me a bit of coaching.
So it's going to be a real baptism of fire for you today. The tracks aren't that hard. We've certainly got some nice meandering forest trails to look at. I think you're going to love it, Mike.
I can't wait. One thing that I noticed was that the forest we were driving through had been burnt out.
Yeah, there've been some horrific fires through this area. The amount of vegetation they've got through here, bushfires can do some horrific damage.
Those fires which have been through were obviously very, very bad because the amount of burnt out areas is quite significant. There's some enormous trees and they're black. They're absolutely black.
We started coming out of Buchan in through to some of the bushfire areas that have copped some bushfire over the recent month. And then from there, we descended down into this area, which was absolutely beautiful.
We're dropping down quite steeply now to the first river crossing. We'll probably gear it down a bit, take it nice and easy through the river crossing. That's been a pretty straightforward drive this morning, but this is really overgrown. I love tracks like this. You really get that jungle experience. The vegetation is so vividly green. It's extending out over the trail. You've just got those two brown tracks running ahead of you. Plenty of debris on the track, plenty of foliage to pass through. I love it. Ducking again.
Ducking again.
Through this last section, we've come through some really tight tracks, and when I say tight, I mean we've got the greenery coming right in and encroaching on the cars on both sides. So it has been one of those ones to be very careful as you're making your way through.
If you're worried about scratching your car, don't do that track. No dents or anything, but very scratchy, lots of overgrown. It shows that in this amazing track network, there's huge areas that hardly get used, and this is obviously one of them.
It wasn't too long before we got a call over the radio and there was a fallen tree along one of the tracks.
Mark, yeah, this is going to need a chainsaw. Can you bring it up, thanks?
Yeah, no worries.
There's a huge amount of trees down, and we had to stop and get the chainsaw out and cut a few to make a bit of a path.
Quite a decent sized log, a good 30 centimetre diameter log straight across the track and up off the track, so it wasn't something that we could drive over or build a ramp for.
Got to a point where we had a bit of a log across the road. Got the chainsaw out, gloved up. A couple of quick cuts. We're able to push it off the side of the track, open it up for everyone to get through, even the Iveco.
It was good to have a chainsaw on board, cleared that up within about 5 minutes and away we go.
The tracks we're on now are quite different. I mean, there's no erosion ruts. There's lots of debris laying over the track. We've had to cut one log out of the way.
We've had an amazing morning on the tracks. It's, again, the scenery and the change that we've experienced through this whole trip so far, just amazing.
Trying to take the daily through the narrow tracks was extremely challenging, especially that it was my third time taking a vehicle off-road. Once we passed through that and the track sort of widened, the daily was just a breeze to drive.
Just not long continued here to a beautiful lunch spot. So looking forward to having a nice salad roll and we'll continue on for the rest of the day.
It's become my unofficial job as the chef in the convoy. And we had some beautiful fresh sandwiches with just some ham, coleslaw, lettuce and cheese. It's just superfood when you're up on the track and you're getting pretty hungry.
It's been a fantastic day out. We're just stopping for lunch at the moment. Everything's been going really, really well. Looking forward to some more great tracks this afternoon.
Well, I better get myself organised here and pack up the mobile kitchen. Cafe is closed. Headed up into the high country again and we're heading towards Swifts Creek. Beautiful part of the world, Swifts Creek. It's just one of those links between the ocean basically and the high country. Hopefully now we'll have a nice afternoon and get down into Swifts Creek for tonight.
We've got a tree down on the road, so we've been off the radio.
Copy that.
All right, got some spare gloves?
We're all good.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes all you've got is an axe, a bit of hard work, a bit of persistence, he'll do the job.
At around 3/4 of the way from the summit to the sea, Danny's plans for a different high country adventure were proving to be a success. We'd started way back north in Corryong and traversed south across the Aussie Alps almost entirely on the dirt. There had been no end of steep climbs and descents, and the consistently breathtaking views were a well-earned feature. It had been a long haul today, driving off-road all the way from Buchan, and as we descended towards the tiny township of Swifts Creek, the thoughts of a hot meal and a cool drink at the local were another top reward for a great day on the tracks. Well, I'll serve anybody here.
I sure will, and I need it after today.
Big day today, Danny, but it was awesome again, thank you. And I'll tell you what, I'm so glad to come into a town like this and see it thriving. No campfire tonight, unfortunately, but this will do, Danny. Well done, thank you.